Hello, my Bill 5000 Nation. How's everyone doing today? Hopefully, everyone's having a great day. If not, I hope it gets better from here. We are back with Nexpo. This one is titled "Fear of the Deep." This was suggested to me by a subscriber. I don't know why. I have a fear of the deep down, dark deep down. Maybe their goal is to see me cry. I don't know, but we're gonna do it. Crying part, I don't know, maybe. Just depends. But I'm excited to get in today's video. If you guys are excited as I am, go ahead, turn them lights down low, put on something comfy, couple something special. Let's get full of fear. Let's get fearful. Yeah, let's get fearful. I don't know why I said full of fear. I want to go home.
It's a summer day.
I don't like that.
And you're out for an ocean swim.
I don't have a problem with the water, but I don't like that just in general because I don't look. Water is beautiful, amazing. It feels great on your skin. You feel weightless. Like, I love water. I don't like the parts of water that can kill me, which is all of it. The big waves, they don't really scare me. I know there's rogue waves. I know there's big waves. I know there's tsunamis and all kinds of other shit. I just don't like it when it starts getting so deep that there's no light. That's my thing. Like, if I get a few feet down, I'm scared, man. I don't know why.
You take a breath. You head under. It's beautiful at first. You're in a whole new world. You keep going and going and going. As you come up for air, you notice the people behind you are quiet as nature's ambience has overtaken them. You just need one more look though, and alas, you take one more plunge. But it seems that you may have had a slight miscalculation.
Oh, fuck that.
As your eyes draw into focus, you realize that there's nothing to focus on.
Nope,
No floor,
not happening. Not
no
happening.
fish,
Not
no
happening.
walls.
Not happening.
All there is a void of darkness, a cold, endless abyss gazing back at you.
Nope.
There is nothing there but yourself, the water, and the vast unknown.
Fuck that. Nexpo, you asshole. You're gonna have me crying in the corner, ain't you, you son of a bitch? It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. The noises too. Oh my god.
You know, it's funny. I've been trying to figure out for years how to put into words the existential dread I get from something as conceptually simple as the ocean. The immeasurable expanse that remains one of the world's greatest mysteries. It is painfully unsettling that our current knowledge of it is minuscule, rivaling that of the moon and even the planet Mars. Upon looking at the raw data, knowing that over 80% of this underwater abyss remains unmapped and unexplored to this day, drives home the gut-wrenching realization that we truly know next to nothing about what's actually down there. We know more about the surface of a planet we have never set foot on than we do about the ocean engulfing the vast majority of the planet on which we live.
It's very true. Very,
And
very
to
true.
me, that implication is horrifying. It's called the deep blue for a reason, because it is incomprehensibly so. At just over 36,000 feet straight down, you can fit the entirety of Mount Everest with over 7,000 feet to spare. You could theoretically
that.
launch a jumbo jet off the bottom of the ocean's deepest point and
See, I don't ever have a plan or a dream to ever climb Mount Everest, so why the fuck would I want to go just as high but down below? That didn't make no sense. But if it, it's fine. It's look. You don't watch this channel for me to make sense, okay? We know this. If you're watching this channel, it's because I'm dumber than shit, and you need to laugh. And I understand. I also understand I need to shave. It's been a minute.
Hardly make it to surface level at its cruising altitude. And if you stack the Empire State Building end to end, you would need over 24 of them, one on top of the other, to reach surface level from its darkest abyss. Thalassophobia is a concept that encompasses the fear of the ocean. Yet what it actually entails might mean something entirely different to you than it does to me. Some may fear the ocean's gargantuan, seemingly endless size.
Yes.
Or fear nature's unforgiving wrath.
I mean, yes, but that's I think that's just a
Becoming
general fear.
stuck within it.
Like, I love storms, but I don't think I'd want to be out in the ocean during a storm. And I just think that's just a general fear in general. Like, you know what I mean? How many people, raise your hand, how many people's like, I love storms? And then, and all in the same sense can be like, but I would not want to be stuck out on a boat in a badass storm. You know what I mean? I know I'm going to get sucked up into something, something's sucking me.
Or fear things that don't belong inside of it. Or fear what we found. Or rather, fear what we haven't.
Right.
Much of what we think of when we imagine the ocean are visuals that we can logically comprehend.
And not to mention, like, the oceans are so vast. Who's to say that, you know, we're looking out for, like, aliens and stuff like that? Who's to say that, you know, we don't need to look within? Looking down into down deep dark, you know what I mean? Fuck that shit.
Reference
It's
points
deep and dark.
like coral reefs,
Can't see
the
shit.
seafloor, and even sea creatures that share this world with us help us paint a mental picture that is coherent. In reality, though, once you tread off the beaten path and veer over the continental shelf separating our world from theirs, what's actually out there is a seemingly infinite void and a macrocosm that we may never fully explore.
Nope, fuck that.
All across the internet, we can find troves of video demonstrating the ocean's colossal scale. It's hard to put exactly into words, but viewing footage of divers like Jonathan Bird treading the fringe of safety and complete danger by venturing out and into what appears to be completely nothing will never not cause me to tense up. There is an entire world below them, a world shrouded in darkness, a world ripe for discovery, a world with caves, valleys, entire underwater oceans, and man-made relics, all just waiting there until the end of time.
I don't like that either. I don't think I want to see boats and cities and shit underneath the ocean. Like that I don't think that's like a fear
Since
I
I was a
have.
child,
I just think like I've watched too many like post-apocalyptic movies, and it's like, man, that's gonna fucking happen one day. Maybe this is like one of those things like it hits a little close to home. It's like, oh, I think that could happen. I don't want to see it. I don't want to know. Hopefully it's not my time when it happens. You know what I mean? Man, I've seen Waterworld. You got me fucked up, bruh. I ain't doing it.
Thalassophobia has unknowingly held me with an iron grip. Jolly Roger Bay and its feeling of constant tension as we explore a man-made creation ravaged by nature. Pinnacle Rock and its cavernous gorge infested with creatures unknown. And Tomb Raider with its...
I cannot play games like that. Like even Subnautica, I've tried, man. Like, Subnautica looks so fucking fun. But I can't. Oh, especially when it starts getting, oh no. Nope. Nope. Nope.
Multitude of claustrophobic underwater caverns, disorienting us at every turn. It's funny because paradoxically, I have always felt that the soundtracks to these levels are beautiful, which oddly always counteracted the dread I got from having to endure environments like this. Perhaps it was the fact that, in these games, we are almost always racing the clock, lest we drown to death when our time is up.
I don't like
Or
that
the
either.
fact that enemies always move faster than we do. Or maybe it's the lack of visibility, the darkness that shrouds us just feet away, depriving us of any ability to prepare for an impending threat. Or could it be the creatures, the monsters who call this unforgiving habitat
that?
home?
What is that? Why is it there?
You should not be there. It's like some kind of goony ass fucking Loch Ness monster looking some bitch. What the
In early
fuck kind of
2022,
alien ass
a
shit
video
is
game
that?
released encompassing every fear that I have ever had regarding the ocean.
Ooh,
It's
that's not
called
ocean.
Iron Lung, and you may have heard of it through my fellow creators like Markiplier, Pyrocynical, and Jacob Geller.
Excuse me.
The game puts us into the shoes of a convict, trapped in a world far removed from ours. At the game's beginning, we're told that, out of nowhere, every single habitable planet was demolished in a cataclysmic event known only as the Quiet Rapture. With this, the future of humankind was left dangling by a thread, as only those aboard spacecrafts were safe from it. For years, the remaining survivors have done what they could to jumpstart humanity, navigating the vast frontier that is the universe in search of any sliver of hope that a habitable planet remains out there. Guided by nothing but dying starlight, mankind is confined to the vast expanse of nothingness, left to salvage the scant resources left behind on a multitude of barren moons.
Yep.
But on just a handful of them, we find a strange anomaly.
Blood water.
Oceans of blood that might be the key to unlocking the resources we so desperately need to survive. You and I are tasked with boarding a makeshift submarine that was not designed for extreme depth, navigating an ocean that is completely alien from anything we have ever seen or known, left to search for and photograph natural resources that may not even be down there.
Believe it or not, Iron Lung does not bother me. Does not bother me at all.
To add insult to injury, the submarine will be welded shut and the window reinforced with thick metal. A rolling method of navigation, a map, a rudimentary control system, a single camera, and our own intuition, guided by whatever sounds we may hear down there. For all we know, we may not survive, but inside the Iron Lung, at least we won't know what killed us.
Exactly. You can't see shit. I like that. You don't even know. You're
Beginning
just
its
in a
descent.
tube. Big old
Cruising
metal.
depth in roughly 40 seconds. Stand by. I'm seeing some voltage irregularities in the instruments, so keep an eye out for sparks or flames or anything like that.
Oh, there's plenty of water. We're fine. We're fine. We're fine.
Approaching maximum depth. The hull's feeling it, but it's still holding strong. Closing porthole shielding.
Oh, that drip.
We're starting to lose radio signal. You'll be at cruise depth soon, so reflecting and be careful. You're on your own. Good.
Good luck. Bruh.
From the very beginning, we know this will not be simple. The Iron Lung flexes and creaks, seemingly reaching its limit under the crippling weight of the ocean. The radio cuts out, severing our only line of communication. and letters penned by previous convicts warn us of an impending fate. For the entire game, we're left to follow a map, adjusting our rotation as we blindly navigate this foreign underwater sea in hopes of taking pictures at each designated point. Interestingly, the Iron Lung is equipped with a proximity sensor to warn us when we come too close to an obstacle. And at first, it seems like a no-brainer. The ship is already cruising on its last leg, so any physical contact could spell the end of us altogether.
Yes, my bald ass got a really good sunburn on the back of my bald ass head, and it hurts, man. And like this little part of my hat keeps touching it. It just makes me want to poo.
As we make our way to each checkpoint, we're able to utilize a shoddy camera system to view the outside world. And with intervals of just one single frame, we're left with nothing but grainy, black and white visuals that are more often than not completely inexplicable.
Roots.
A corpse of a foreign giant. Unknown structures with monsters just out of view.
Or is a finger.
Legs from what appear to be giant spiders. And objects that bear no discernible shape.
Looks like a spider to me.
The horror of Iron Lung comes interwoven within the very fabric of how it's played. We are confined to an iron cell, left with none other than the dread stemming from our own biases as our minds fill the blanks these grainy images leave for us.
And the
And on top
invisible
of
ass
this,
monsters.
as we traverse this underwater hell,
Make you dingy dingy go dingy dingy. Yeah, those.
that proximity sensor sure goes wild, even when we're certain there's no obstacle anywhere around us. Whatever is out there is lurking, analyzing us for just the right moment. We cannot see them, we cannot prepare, and we have no idea what it is around us.
It's a fucking alien. It's a goody monster alien
In a
thing,
way,
bruh.
it's sort of poetic because it resembles the real world. Blood oceans upon vast alien moons aren't too far off from the concept of our own. And I think that's what makes
I don't know what kind of reality Nexpo's living in. But when I go to the beach, it's not blood red. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Unless, the dolphins are menstruating.
Iron Lung so horrifying. Anytime we enter the
Got a
ocean,
point.
we enter a habitat not made for us. We can't breathe. We can't hear. We can't see. But they can.
Fuck yeah, they
Tonight,
can.
I won't spoil the ending, so if you haven't
Excuse
yet
me.
experienced this game, please do, because it'll be well worth your time.
It is.
The story is engaging and thought-provoking. The atmosphere is unmatched for those afraid of the deep, and the ending has a catch that will stick with you for a while. In my opinion, Iron Lung is one of the greatest modern examples of thalassophobia portrayed through video games, and as an avid fan of Subnautica, that
Can't
sure
do
saying something.
Subnautica. It's the fact that your character is actually in the water, I think. Because anything where I'm like on a boat or a sub or something, I'm good. Or even like a diving bell, I'm good. But if my character is actually out in the... No, I can't play the game. I can't. I really would like to play Subnautica. I just can't. I can tread the top and let everyone else do shit. Bring me all the stuff to the island. I'll build us the biggest
Hidden
base
inside
you
the
ever
second
seen.
chapter of Slug Girl, part of the horror world of Junji Ito collection,
Slug
exists
girl.
the story.
Slug girl. Slug girl. Thing that drifted ashore. Big old snake looking thing came ashore. You can see through it, and there was people in there, right? Am I wrong? Am I right? I don't know.
The thing that drifted ashore. It
Hold on.
involves the tale of a mysterious object that washes up on the coast of the Pacific Ocean.
Yeah.
It's a creature completely alien. It's gargantuan, slimy. It's disgusting. On its face are massive cysts and tumors with small appendages emerging from them. And worst of all, it smells because it's rotting. Nevertheless, it draws a crowd in the hundreds, all eager to examine and preserve this colossal spectacle. Among the crowd, we encounter a young boy with an acute fear of the ocean. All his life, he's had nightmares of floating in the deep sea, surrounded by hordes of massive ocean giants. While out there, he meets a woman named Mie. She explains that 7 years prior, she had lost her fiancé in a ferry accident. No trace of him was ever found. However, ever since, she's been afflicted with ocean nightmares highly similar to the boys.
You just wait. It gets real. Here about 30-some seconds, probably. Oh.
As she's telling her story, though, the onlookers notice something.
Okay,
The creature's skin
yeah.
has transparent spots. And on the inside are humans, entirely intact. They cut the creature open. The people are still alive, and
This
it's
is what I'm
realized
thinking
that
about.
one of
Hold
them
on.
is Bie's fiancé, the one who went missing years ago. Shortly after,
Oh,
the
she's
bile-covered people begin to panic, crawling in all sorts of directions like inhuman monsters. As it turns out, they were trapped inside of this thing for years, living off it like parasites as it traversed the pitch-black deep ocean. And the dreams they had of the ocean giants larger than a school bus were, in actuality, what those inside of it were seeing all those years. Because of their confinement, every person recovered that day was officially declared insane. And the story ends pondering on what else might be out there.
Oh, yeah, that one's it. I love comic books. I used to read all kinds of different shit whenever I was a younger man, and yeah, I remember this. This was so good. But yeah, like all the people that was having all these dreams about gigantic sea creatures and everything else, yeah, they was somehow psychically connected to these people that was inside of it, and like everything that they was seeing was being relayed to the people in their dreams, and they just thought it was nightmares of stuff that wasn't real, but in actuality, like all that stuff was real because it was what the people inside of this thingy right here was seeing. It's crazy shit, bro. I love shit like that. It's fun.
The thing that drifted ashore is special because its horror is twofold. On one hand, we have an ocean monster that lives off shipwrecked human beings. Yet on the other, we have the visual of what they saw while confined down there. Grotesque giant fish with massive eyes and appendages. Beasts capable of devouring entire human beings. And creatures beyond our level of comprehension. The ocean is uniquely fascinating because it's the one medium on Earth in which fact can meet fantasy.
Right?
Ocean monsters can be thought into existence with hardly a way to disprove them within our lifetime. And the potential of what could be overpowers our collective psyche as that curiosity may never be satiated. It seems that
swear I
until
see
the
a
end of
face in
time,
his
legendary ocean monsters like the Kraken,
body.
the Hydra, and the Leviathan will always fascinate us given our sheer inability to explore the habitat in which they live. Tales of the high seas, of tragedy by the hands of fantastical beasts will persist evermore, fueling fans and fears of the ocean for
Nope.
generations to come.
See, that's an alien. I don't
The
give a fuck
thing
what
that
you say.
drifted ashore
That's an
nails this
alien.
mistake in the realm of legend, yet it plays on concepts entirely grounded in reality. Deep sea giants are not fiction, and the condition of abyssal gigantism is, in actuality, the farthest thing from fantasy.
Really? Okay. So it's not just like a mysterious island type thing, a Jules Verne type thing. It's a real type thing. Fuck my life. Got there and meet a gigantic plankton that beats the shit out of me. I don't want that in my life. A little seal pup that's
Around
like
3,000
tall
feet
as the
deep,
Empire State Building.
the ocean becomes cold, dark, and full of creatures inexplicable. In lieu of the octopi, dolphins, and vibrant ecosystems embedded within coral reefs, we instead find species exhibiting bioluminescence,
That's just creepy,
bearing
man.
foreboding teeth, and riddled with a curious affliction. Colossal size.
Look like a little horse.
When we look at these photos, it's difficult
looks like
to
a little
establish a
horsey.
sense of scale.
That looked like a
The
vagina.
colossal squid alone looks relatively unassuming.
Why are they
until
all
you're given a visual
see-through,
comparison
bro?
respective to a human.
Fuck this shit.
The oarfish appears like a minuscule eel until you realize they can grow up to 36 feet long. Deep sea gigantism has created a plethora of monsters. Japanese spider crabs bearing 12-foot legs. Deep sea isopods growing multiple feet in length. Sea spiders up to nearly 2 feet long. Anglerfish the size of humans. The big fin squid with tentacles.
Man, them one things look like something you'd see that dropped off of fucking kaiju, bro. Man, I don't trust none of this underwater space shit. And fuck that wannabe Subnautica bullshit, man. No. Man, seafood, just put it in the can. That's the only sea creatures I'm comfortable around, man. No, fuck that. Like, I love going fishing. I do. And it's fun. I do it all for good fun. Don't get me wrong. What kind of goony ass monsters are these, man? I would shit myself if I threw my line in the water and pulled up one of these motherfuckers. What kind of space ass bullshit is this, man?
Extending upwards of 26 feet long.
No, we don't need to.
And even creatures like the siphonophore, a
fuck is
floating
that?
amalgamation made of a colony of zooids chaining themselves together hundreds of feet in length.
No.
For over 90% of the ocean, sunlight is not able to penetrate, fostering an environment in which life like this needs to adapt to survive. A region known as the abyssal plain makes up 70% of the entire seafloor as we know it. However, because of the lack of sunlight, plants and vegetation simply cannot thrive down there. This, in a way, presents a natural conundrum, as the bottom of the food chain typically relies on flora for satiation. And so, this is where a phenomenon known as marine snow comes into play. Made up of decomposed organisms from above, on top of fecal matter, sand, and the remains of fish,
Oh, so they're
most of the
shit
known
eaters?
deep ocean fauna rely on it as their main source of food. With this in mind, it would only make sense for creatures to evolve by shrinking, as not only are they compressed by the ocean's sheer weight, but are also left devoid of solid meals. As we've seen though, reality is quite the opposite. Kleber's law states that the larger an organism's mass is, the more efficient its metabolic rate becomes. This notion results in colossal, highly efficient sea life lurking within the ocean's darkest depths, waiting and grazing for their next meal. I would be remiss, however, if I did not state that these are mere postulations, as the phenomenon of abyssal gigantism is still being studied. Because of the historical impossibility of exploring the deep ocean, much of how sea life survives down there is entirely
What the fuck
unknown.
are those?
Alongside this, it's believed that over 91% of the ocean species have not even been discovered, compounding with the already extraordinary statistic that the vast majority of the deep blue remains completely unseen by human eyes. Up to this point, everything I've shown you in this video has fallen within the mere 9% of creatures we have seen. Now imagine what we haven't.
I want this to stop. Oh, can this please be done? I want to do it, man. I've had the chills this whole damn time, man. I don't want to do it no more. I mean, that's beautiful and all, but damn, man. I don't like none of it. Don't like none of it at all.
It goes without saying that the ocean is treacherous, yet that hasn't slowed those eager to explore it. The allure of underwater caves, blue holes, and ocean cliffsides make for an experience both riveting and spiritually fulfilling. However, it's unfortunately fairly common for deep-sea dives to go awry. On the 28th of April 2000, 22-year-old Yuri Lipsky geared up for a dive within the Blue Hole in Egypt. Known as one of the most dangerous diving locations in the world, traversing this environment is no small feat. One of its standout features is its underwater arch, a massive 170-foot tunnel resting 164 feet below the surface and extending 85 feet in length.
Why?
It's been reported that the Blue Hole is deceptive, appearing to be much shorter
keep
than
your
it
blue
is when
holes,
you manage to
man.
get down there. Alongside this, it bears areas with strong down currents, making for a physically grueling experience. When inside, depth and oxygen monitoring are a must, yet Lipsky, fully aware of the risks involved with such
No, yeah, because don't you have to change your oxygen ratio as you go down? Like, can't you get like oxygen poisoning or some shit? Oxygen toxicity? All I know is, don't you need like more nitrogen or something to counteract the poisoning that you can get? Am I stupid? I don't dive. I don't want to dive. That's too much. It's too much. But I think I know a little bit about it. And then again, I think I know a little bit about a lot of stuff, and come to find out I'm just dumb.
an intensive dive, maintained optimism in his physical ability. At 5:03 p.m., Lipsky embarks into the depths. Contrary to standard procedure, he attempts this dive not in a group, but alone. For the first 2 minutes, we can observe Yuri swimming parallel to surface until he's over the deepest point of the blue hole. He then begins a slow, controlled descent before he begins releasing air from his BCD, or buoyancy compensation device, in hopes of sinking faster.
Buoyancy compensation device. Is that him gasping for air?
At this point, his regulator begins to work harder to supply Yuri with the increased amount of oxygen he's taking in, evident by the numerous wheezes we hear throughout this footage. By now, he is descending rapidly, likely more so than he realizes, and soon after, the alarm from his dive monitor sounds, signaling that his depth is reaching a critical level.
So what does that mean when you're reaching a critical level? Does that mean like you're going to implode on yourself? Or, okay, because the pressure of all the water pushing in on you can crush you. Or is it something like it's just pushing, so much is pushing down on you that you can't go back up no more? Like whenever you're jumping out of a plane, like once you get to that certain point, it's pointless to pull your chute because you're going just too fast and you've went down too far or whatever. It's like, I wouldn't be doing it. Motherfucker got me fucked up. I don't like how he sounds. What's these numbers?
Yuri is now
What's this
over
do?
270 feet below surface,
Do you see
signaling
that?
a multitude of inconvenient truths. The oxygen in his tank is quickly becoming
Oxygen
toxic.
toxicity.
His buoyancy
And hold on. You went.
surface, signaling a multitude of inconvenient truths. The
Oxygen toxicity. Oxygen toxicity occurs in most people when the partial pressure of oxygen reaches 1.4 atmospheres or greater, equivalent to slightly over 187 feet. So the oxygen is underneath more pressure due to the atmosphere. So I guess it changes it slightly. You need more or something? I don't know.
oxygen in his tank is quickly becoming toxic. His
Because it's being
buoyancy
condensed.
is
Neoprene. An average air-filled neoprene suit will lose approximately half of its buoyancy at the depth of 33 feet. 2/3 at the depth of 66 feet. At 100 feet, it will effectively become crushed and lose almost all of its buoyancy. Yeah, because that's what I was thinking is the 100 feet. You're not supposed to go like more than 100 feet for like a certain amount of time because you can get like poisoning. Right? Or am I stupid? I'm probably stupid.
dwindling, and an effect known as nitrogen narcosis is
Nitrogen narcosis. Nitrogen narcosis, known as rapture of the deep, results from the intoxicating effect of increased tissue nitrogen concentration at depths of around 120 feet. So so because where you're surrounded by so much nitrogen, you just start like getting sick from it. And you become drunk. So it'd be kind of like same way with carbon monoxide, like how you just kind of go to sleep. You just start getting drunk and you're like, hey man. Oh bro, fuck it.
plaguing him,
Fuck this.
instilling a sensation of complete drunkenness.
So he's gasping for air, getting
At
drunk.
5:09 p.m., Yuri approaches
gonna
the
die.
bottom of the blue hole at over 300 feet deep. Immediately, he fully inflates his BCD in hopes of returning to the surface. However, it's entirely ineffective as the downforce of the ocean negates any semblance of buoyancy. This realization appears to cause him to panic because his tank is now empty. He's disoriented. Yuri Lipsky is trapped.
So he can't even swim up? No rope or anything? Did he just fall over and die? Oh, he's dead. He's definitely dead. Don't fuck with the ocean, bro. He'll fuck back.
Yuri Lipsky met his demise in one of the most dangerous diving locations in the world. He embarked to set a personal record to achieve a depth that he had never before seen, yet in that pursuit lost his life to the grueling conditions of the deep blue. Since the incident, Yuri's body was recovered. However, the same can't be said for a multitude of others that have met the same fate. Online, you can find footage of divers discovering the remains of their counterparts with their gear still intact, and it's haunting knowing that if those specific divers did not dive in that specific spot, their remains may have never been found, forever confined to the pitch-black crypt that is the deep sea.
That's fucking awful, man. Just think, if you get lost down there, you would never be found. Unless it's just sheer luck.
Humanity and the ocean have a bizarre relationship with death.
Yeah.
Superstorms leveling entire cities. Gargantuan waves rocking man's largest ships like a bath-time toy.
Nope.
And rogue waves that emerge from nowhere, destroying even the largest and safest of oil rigs. To this day, remnants of over 3 million shipwrecks exist on the seafloor, with thousands upon
3 million?
thousands of massive man-made objects accompanying them.
They say 3
Much
million?
like the remains of divers, these relics imply and signify defeat and death, lost by the hand of an environment we had set out to tame, and an everlasting token of failure. There's an interesting subset of thalassophobia called submechanophobia that delves into the very specific fear of encountering these relics in the wild. It's this primordial repulsion caused by the crippling uncanniness of an object that does not belong, compounded with the lack of any ability to determine its true size.
See, I don't like seeing shipwrecks and stuff down there because, like, for one, that it's like too real. You know what I mean? Like, shipwrecks happen. Why is there buildings down here? Like, now, like in ancient stuff, like, you know, they find stuff underneath the water all the time. Like, if I'm not mistaken, they found like a city that's still there used to be much, much bigger because, you know, the ocean wasn't where it's at now. And now, you know, they're out, you know, trying to get the ocean, fighting the ocean all the time, trying to get to these places to check them out and shit. Like, that doesn't bother me. Like, that's a natural thing over years. You know what I mean? But shipwrecks and stuff like that, that fucks me up, bro. I don't like it.
Video of the Titanic.
I don't like it.
Of forgotten animatronics.
What the fuck is that shit?
Of ancient relics.
That's not too...
A massive anchor. Of sunken airplanes. And the interior of shipwrecks are effectively fueling a newer, more recently discovered phobia made possible by the rise of cameras able to document them.
None of that.
But it isn't always abandoned structures, though, as video, like this one,
It's this motherfucker underneath a boat? And the propeller's moving?
Also exemplifying this phobia in its purest form. For me personally, submechanophobia persists because of the total inability to fully see an object as it truly is.
To all of this.
Like we touched on earlier, our minds are hardwired to fill in blanks with what could be, and more often than not, we achieve this with the most horrifying possible outcome.
To all of this.
On land, fog is always seen as a mood setter for the strange and mysterious.
Yeah.
And inside the darkest confines of the deep blue, perhaps we can see this idea at work here too.
Oh, that's some creepy ass shit, bro. I don't like it. Is this over? Can this be over now? Please let it be over. Oh, thank God. I could not handle more of that. No. Ooh. Why would you do that to me? Why? Why would you do that to me? I'm gonna have nightmares tonight. And probably for the rest of the week. Why? What did I do to you? Alright. I got through today's video. Hopefully, if you guys don't like the deep dark as much as me, then, you know, if you all hate it as much as me, hopefully y'all got through it as well, you know. If not, I don't blame you. I don't blame you a fucking bit. Alright, I really enjoyed today's video. Thank you so much for this suggestion. If y'all really enjoyed today's video as well, go down there, hit that thumbs up. It really helps the channel grow. While you're down there going over, slap that subscribe button. Become part of the Build for 1,000 Nation. We need more. We need more peoples. Give me all the peoples. And if you really want to, ding that bell. It might work for you. It might not. But if it do, jump in on one of my premieres. Go over in the live chat and be like, hey, Bill, you know that ding? I'm just going to go ahead and say, I didn't believe in unicorns until you dinged me for the first time, and it was so magical. I now believe in the fairy realm. And I'm going to be like, hell yeah, leave a like and dip. That's all you got to do. As always, be good to one another. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Man, why y'all got to make me watch shit like this? I don't like the deep dark, down deep dark.